What's going on, y'all? Y'all gotta excuse the do-rag. Got my hair cut earlier, took a nap, and I just decided to wash my hair, so I just laid it down, so don't mind that. Today's topic, though, don't pour into people that do not pour into you. I've been thinking about this through 2018 so far, even though people, still do. At a time you just sit back and you observe things and you watch how people in this world take, but don't put back in. They don't give. I've been just sitting back and I've been watching how not only the world operates, but how people around me operate. And you should just, in general, pay attention to the people that are around you so you can notice how they operate. And with me just reflecting on this, and I'm gonna get a little more in depth with it, it was ironic that a Steve Harvey video popped up on my YouTube. I didn't look it up or anything, and he said it. It was ironic, literally, that it popped up that he even brought this up, and I was like, okay, so I know that I'm actually paying attention to the right thing in life right now. He said he believes, and he says, and he preaches it all the time. Every year, you should take inventory twice a year, 2 times a year, about the people that's around you. And you need to figure out if they're adding and promoting towards your ultimate end goal. If they're not, then they're not supposed to be along for this particular ride. Because many times people don't know your end goal, or sometimes people know your end goal and don't want you to get to your end goal. That's why it's important, and that's why they always say, move in silence, or don't tell everybody everything you got going on. Don't bring it up until it actually takes place, ultimately. So I was like, man, I've been saying this, I've been thinking about this, and I started doing it last year and a few years before that, but now, I really directly have thought about this, and I was like, it's too many. And just taking my life, for example, hello to everybody that's watching. Just taking my life, for example, when you notice, I noticed that many people in my life many people in my life who personally know me or know me on social media know that ultimately the 2 goals I've had in life since I was a little kid was to be a professional baseball player, make it to the major leagues, and be a professional, famous actor. With me and other people knowing that, I've had a taste of it, have gotten to it, I've worked towards those goals, and some of those goals of that people knew of, take the baseball, for example. I had many people around me that supported me, without a doubt. But I had a lot of people around me that tried to talk me out of it. So it's kind of when you have people around you, and I've noticed when you have people around you that are supporting, Terry, what I mean by it is, and it's a general statement. Don't pour into people who aren't trying to pour into you. Means that when you feel yourself constantly showing support, whether it be physical support, financial support, verbal support, spiritual support, for other people, a lot of people, and you notice that people around you do not do the same, and it could be people around you who claim to support you in certain things that you're doing that's ultimately your end goal in life. When you notice that their actions do not match their words, and it becomes a repetitive occurrence, you have to reevaluate and you got to take inventory. If you know your calling in life from God, and ultimately what was put on your heart, what you have spoken into existence, and what you are trying to work towards, you need people around you. You need people around you who are going to help you and support you to reach that goal. Now, like I said, that might not mean that they got to support you financially. That might not mean, it might just simply mean you're asking for, verbal support, encouragement, words of encouragement. You might be, for prime example, I do baseball and softball instruction, and many people, and you'll notice that from time to time I post videos of some of my clients who are doing really well. You'll notice that because many people around on Facebook, and as many people around in my family, friends. Like I said, I see it a lot on social media. Everybody talks a good game. I see people all the time that say, man, they complain about this younger generation. They complain about the kids and the things that are happening in this world with this younger generation. I see a lot of people promote hashtag positivity. I want to see positive vibes only. We're supposed to uplift each other, all of these things. So I see it. I see people who do it from our church. I see people that do it from my church and other churches, not just mine. When you notice that people talk a good game, they do this, and then I've watched, not just for myself, I've watched other people who are actually physically doing that same thing that they're hashtagging, like uplifting, bringing up our youth, trying to pour into our youth, and nobody supports that. Nobody encourages that. We want our younger generation to do something better with their lives than a lot of stuff that is going on with our generation. Whether getting their grades together, focusing on academics, not everybody acting ignorantly out here in the world. And when you see kids, when I post kids who are actually doing great academically, because one of the requirements just to train with me is your grades have to be on point, period. That's the only way you can come and step foot in my cage, because I'm not going to train a kid who does not value their academics. Because why would I waste my time training a kid who doesn't value academics if you're not going to be able to play anyway, because you're going to be ineligible. You're going to be ineligible if you don't focus on the grades. You can't play baseball. You can't play softball if your academics suck. And with me having a teaching degree, I feel like that's a responsibility that God put on me to make sure that if our kids want to succeed, that they need to be educated. That's how many people get taken advantage of, because they aren't properly educated. And it's not just book smart, but it's environmentally and in this world. You have to understand what's going on around you. So back to what I was saying with pouring into somebody. So when you notice that I can go around, I got family and friends that are like, man, you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job, helping these kids and everything. And I'll be like, thank you. But and I'll be like, and I used to get, and I've learned, I got better at this, and I used to take offense to it when my close family and friends don't even show support and love when I put videos up of my kids training. I got a young black boy, 10 years old, an All-American. He was picked as an All-American at 9 years old. He just turned 10 a couple weeks ago. I interviewed him, put up a video of some of his clips just to promote him in general outside of his baseball ability. And you have to darn near beg people to support the positive stuff you put up. I had to, and I had to stop getting offended, because I had to put myself in the mindset of understanding that nobody, and I mean nobody, is obligated to support anything you do. But if people's hearts are in the right place when you are doing something positive, or you're doing something that is supposed to promote and help this world and help this generation, and you're not posting ignorantly, you're not twerking, you're not cursing all on videos and all of this stuff, when you promoting positivity, you would think that a lot of people find in their hearts to just, without being asked, to support that, because that's ultimately what they talk about and what people preach. Everybody can put up a status, but can't nobody put their actions where their mouth is. And that's what I noticed when pouring into people, because I got friends and family that are into the arts, and I pour into them. If I'm showing support, I pour into them. I had to stop getting offended. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everything else will come. Yeah, you realize that, you can't get offended, because it's like people don't see it. People talk the game. Lalita, yeah. They say they support you, but then when you asking for the support and it don't cost them a dime, and if you notice that it's still difficult for them to support you, it's time to cut them off. And some people might be watching this live right now, and you might, in a couple of days, I've been cleaning up shop on my social media. I've been cutting down people on my friends list, because outside of people I notice that are inactive, I don't want to. I'm almost at the 5,000 mark, because people add me randomly because of the movie. And I got people, friends and family on it, of course, and people I meet through the baseball world and just the entertainment industry, period. I want to make space for people who are willing to support the same way I support my close friends and family. And people who ask me, if I genuinely like your stuff, you don't have to ask me to support your stuff. I'll support it. If you need me to come to an event, and I know that it's good, and I support it. You know what I mean? I don't have a problem. I can't make it to every event, but I just know that I support people, who are trying to make a difference out here. And I just don't get that in return. And so I was like, what? It's time to clean up shop. Like Steve Harvey said, you got to do inventory twice a year. And I know a few of my friends had noticed, like I started falling back. They're like, what happened? Hey, I gotta, all right, yeah, be safe on that road. I noticed I gotta clean up shop with some people that have been around me, because you can't continue to let people drink from your cup and never refill your cup. And then what's gonna happen is, and people don't notice, and this is a little weird analogy, but people, if you fill your cup up, right, and you constantly keep giving sips away, and people are enjoying it, but nobody's trying to replenish it, at some point in time, that cup gonna be empty. And then you don't have nothing else to give to anybody, because everybody constantly kept taking, because they feel obligated to watch. They feel obligated and feel that you're supposed to put out products, make videos, do this and that in this world, and they just receive it, and they don't want to replenish you. They don't want to show that support, that appreciation. And at some point in time, it gets draining. And at some point in time, you just gotta say, I'm done with it. So that means sometimes you gotta cut those people off. And it might be meant for you to cut those people off. God shows you signs. Many times we pray and pray, and we ask God, and we say, God, and at least I do. I pray and I ask God, and I say, Lord, anything that's in my life that is not of you, it is not ultimately pouring into my end goal that you have for me in life, whether it be a person or a thing, whatever it may be, I say, God, please remove it. Please remove it. Because if it's not helping me and keeping me aligned with the will that you have for me, I don't want it. That could be a relationship. And the problem is, us as human beings, we'll ask for these things, and God will show you, and we ignore it. We ignore it because we like, nah, that ain't no God. Because then now you got to use a discernment to say whether or not that was God showing you a sign. God, show me a sign. Many times we say, God, show me a sign. Show me a sign. And he'll show it, and we ignore it. Nope, that wasn't God. Nope, that wasn't God. We do it plenty of times. You could be in a relationship, a bad relationship, and you asking God, hey, if this is for me, or if it's not for me, give me a sign. God can be showing you all type of signs, showing you red flags, and you be like, nope, that ain't God. That wasn't the sign. That was something else. That was the devil. No, many times God is showing you exactly what you're asking for. And even when you're not asking, God gonna still show you, because God wants the best for you. So you got to understand that pouring into people who don't pour into you can eventually become draining. And you have to understand that if you notice that people don't pour into what you're believing and what you're doing, of course it has to be positive, and of course it has to be trying to make a change and difference in this world. If you're doing something positive and you notice people around you aren't pouring into you, even if you ask them for that support and they still don't, you got to reevaluate your friends around you, the people around you, take inventory, and you got to cut them off. So like I said, I'm about to hop off here, but stop pouring into people that do not pour into you. It can be very draining. Take it from a personal experience standpoint. Many people, they're going to keep realizing my friends list on here is going to get smaller and smaller because I'm cutting off people and I'm making room for people who are willing and want to support. So, in my final thoughts about this, just because people liking it on this video and giving thumbs up and commenting and everything, if you notice that I put up a video of some of my clientele, my young kids that are doing well in baseball and softball, if you see I interview them, showing off their personality, showing off their hard work, their work ethic, support it. Hit the like button, share it, promote them, because that's what it's about. Promote them. They deserve it. People around you who are trying to make a change and difference in this world and in this generation deserve it. They deserve that support. And if you're not going to give it to them, move out of the way. Move out of the way so that they can find somebody to take your spot who is willing to support them. And I'm telling my friends and family now on this video, if you're not going to support it and you can just keep scrolling and look past it, and then when you see me in person, then you want to bring it up, thank you. Thank you for showing me. And with all due respect, I still love all of you, my friends and family, or anybody else on my social media, but I have to remove you so I can make room for people who want to see positivity and promote and support it. So you all have a blessed evening. Like I said, and like Steve Harvey said, don't pour into people that don't pour into you. God bless.